Star Wars Issue 9 finds Leia telling the gathered rebels that they have celebrated long enough and it's time for Operation Starlight to begin. She says that with the Imperials cracking their codes, they can't communicate with the other rebel divisions, and while they discovered this problem, they don't know if other rebel cells have, or if anyone is even still out there. Luke knows they need to get a warning out to the cells, and they could just jump away after contacting them, and Leia knows that that would mean they would lose their one ability to communicate with them further, and the cells wouldn't know where they are. So they'd still be in the same position they are in now. So they need to bring the fleet together and find a new base. Lando knows that they need new codes and they could transmit them at the same time as the warning and switch over to the new ones. Chewbacca voices his opinion, knowing that that would give the Imperials the new codes, and Leia knows the new codes would just be broken as easy as the old ones. Luckily, Leia knows that one of them amongst them have a brilliant idea, handing the meeting over to C-3PO, who says that despite being fluent in over 6 million forms of communication, this doesn't represent all languages in the galaxy, with one of these languages being the Trawak, which hasn't been spoken by anyone other than cave-dwelling beings for over 1,000 years. R2 tells his friend to get on with it, so 3PO says that he believes the Trawak language is the key to their problems, and that they could use it as a foundation for a new code, and if they disseminate it among the rebel protocol droids, they could use it as an uncrackable code. Shara knows that the Imperials have protocol droids as well, and they could easily crack them and translate them, but 3PO says that that's the whole idea, since he and other protocol droids cannot speak the language. Lando thinks the droid is just wasting their time, and 3PO would usually agree with him, but while he cannot speak Trawek, and almost no one can, there is one source in the galaxy that holds the key to this grammar, an ancient linguistics droid, a predecessor to 3PO's own model, and the sole repository of the Trawak language. Leia says that they are going to steal this droid, and it's their mission, so they're going to send a small team to retrieve the droid and bring it to them. Luke asks where the droid is, learning that's the troubling part, as the droid is an artifact in the collection of the Imperial Museum on Coruscant, which is being run by a very surly curator who demands perfection. On Coruscant, the curator is told by his people that the new pieces from Kashyyyk have arrived, finding the craftsmanship of the totems to be quite impressive for Wookiees. His people ask if they are to be put on display, but he calls them a fool, telling him that the dignity of the other pieces will not be sullied by the lowly creature's carvings, demanding one piece be put in his private collection. The curator heads to his private collection, where the ancient protocol droid sits in a glass display. Luke wants to go on this mission since the Force could maybe help them find the droid, but Leia knows that Coruscant is like a Nexus den and Palpatine and even Vader might be there, so he and even her cannot risk being seen there, which is why she's sending the Pathfinders Kess, Needle, and Frel. Leia knows that them infiltrating the planet won't be easy, so they'll need a good ship and a good smuggler who can do the job, and luckily, Lando and Lobot are right there. Lando asks whatever happened to asking for volunteers, as later, he successfully smuggles the Pathfinders himself and Lobot onto the planet, disguising them and leaving them to deal with their own problems, while he and Lobo go and wait on the Falcon for them. Kess says that Lobot is coming with them since he's needed to slice into the museum's database, and seeing as Lobot is an Imperial fugitive, this is his way of repaying the rebellion for providing shelter to him, something Lando should probably consider as well. Lando reminds Needle that they are all friends there, but the being says that they are friendly, not friends, and there is a difference to him. With no other choice, Lando tells the rebels that he won't let Lobot go in alone, knowing he's pulled off heists that would curl even their eyebrows, that is if Needle had any. Heading to the museum, they use Lobot to hack into the database, noting that the guards with vibro pikes mean serious business. Looking over the info Lobot gets, the Pathfinders think that they should be able to pull this off. Lando wants to get out of there and back to the Falcon as soon as possible so they can plan the heist, but Kess knows that the longer they delay this, the more chance Zara has at finding the rebel cells, so they need to act fast. Frel shows Lando the data, revealing the droid is stashed in the curator's private collection, and since it's private, there are no cameras or security other than a few guards posted outside, so it's an easy job. Lando thinks the rebels are crazy, but Needles says they aren't crazy, they're Pathfinders. Needles looks over the exhibits and finds something that will be perfect for his plan, and later storms into the museum, outraged that they have a relic from the Kwamian people, demanding it be returned to its rightful owners. With a distraction in place, the rest of the team move into the private collection, knowing the guards from upstairs will soon be called down if Needle continues his ruckus. As they wait for the guards to leave the collection, Needle continues his rant, garnering the attention of the curator himself, who leaves the private collection with the guards. Kes and Frel approach the guards who are left behind, and they demand that they leave the area at once or they will attack, so the rebels take the guards down as Needle is met by the curator, who accuses the man of ruining the enjoyment of the exhibit for the other patrons. Needle says that he stole his people's property, but the curator says that the museum is dedicated to keeping the cultural treasures of these people safe through upheaval like the galactic civil war that is raging at the moment, and they are better than protecting them than those who made them, since if they deserve to keep it, they would have. As Kes and Frel wrap up taking down the guards, Needle says he won't be leaving, wondering if the man will have him shot. The curator says he won't, at least not right there in the middle of the exhibits. Finishing with the guards, Kes tells Frel that they are running out of time as Needle is ordered to be escorted off the premises and roughed up if needed be. Kes tells Needle that Lobot is slicing into the collection room now, but they need more time since this mission cannot fail. Needle understands, telling his friend good luck as he destroys his earpiece, grabbing the relic and making a mad dash for the door. The curator's guards give chase, surrounding Needle, who calls them fascist criminal thieves. The guards hit him with their vibro pikes, capturing him and asking the curator what he wants done with the being. The curator says that he is subject to military justice, so under the Imperial Code, he is sentenced to death. The guards kill Needle, and after dealing with him, the curator returns to his collection with his aide, telling them that people should be celebrating them preserving their relics, unaware that the ancient protocol droid is missing. Later on at the Rebel fleet, 3PO notes how this is really the final autonomous translator module left in the galaxy. He prattles on about how his model is much better than this one as Leia refocuses the droid, asking if it can do what they need it to. 3PO activates the protocol droid, which screams out a bunch of different dialects. Luke wonders if that was the Trawek language, but 3PO unfortunately says it's not, since the droid's cognitive functions have been corrupted. Kes is angered by this, unhappy that Needle died to bring them a broken droid, demanding to know what 3PO is going to do now. The droid tells Kes that he is sorry for Needle's death, but right now, he has no idea what to do. Star Wars Issue 9 begun the much anticipated Operation Starlight mission as the rebels look to move into a new base and escape the Empire yet again. I absolutely loved that Charles Soule is diving headfirst into more heist capers within the Star Wars universe, and again using Lando and Lobot for it. Two characters he's written really well before and obviously has a really deep love for, as well as his new look for Lobot is actually really cool. I like that Lobot has these sort of hanging cables that give him the look of hair. I think that's actually quite cool. Giving Kes Dameron and his Pathfinders some love as well was really cool, again showing just how ingrained into the rebellion the Damerons were. They just weren't one pilot in the Resistance, they were actually a huge family in the rebellion right from the early days, which I think is really damn cool. The High Republic ties are only just beginning here, and I love we got a peek at some of its history with the old droid from that era, and I can't wait for more of that time in history to be revealed in the coming weeks as we enter the High Republic era being revealed fully with all their books and comics starting to come out, and I imagine we're going to get more ties in with this series as it goes along. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10.